Yes, Final Fantasy II. Well, I mean 4. Well, in America it was 2 because we never got 2 and 3. So when they finally brought 4 to the US, it's called 2. And we're just gonna go with that. So that's just what happened. We're not gonna worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna get started in a minute here, but you gotta enjoy this music. This nice music. If you're watching the archive, you can just skip ahead. I mean, I'm sure at some point I'll start playing the game. Yeah. As always, gotta have some strand of hand at your side while you play these old JRPGs. Alright, start button did nothing, but circle did something. Circle, this is a Super Nintendo game, I mean A. As we all know, the Americanized controllers still kept the right to left convention of Japanese controllers, so it was BA instead of AB. Which is fun. Cecil. Or Cecil, but I always said Cecil because of the baseball player Cecil Fielder, who was a fat first baseman for the Detroit Tigers. Captain Cecil about to arrive. That nostalgia. Why are we robbing crystals? I like how he says that, or the crew says that's our duty to the worst stated form ever. But, you know, 90s games had to paint with broad strokes, so immediately we're doing something awful. He feels guilty. What have we done? I like how most characters don't even get names. Black Wizard represents all Black Wizards. Black Wizard Live. Man, I've beaten this game so many times. Both wizards are gone. And this guy looks like a thumb head, like he's from one of those bad thumb movies. I guess he has a beard. It wouldn't be a Final Fantasy if you weren't collecting crystals everywhere. Everyone knows how powerful the crystals are, but it's always a surprise that someone would try to collect them. Another Detroit sports reference, the Red Wings. I guess Cecil Fielder picked up some skates and decided to play hockey in the sky. Alright, this game is too loud. I think all those PlayStation games had a lot more dynamic. How's that? You know, in 15 seconds after I say this. I'll bring it down even a little more. That's so Raven. Sorry for the That's So Raven joke. I promise there will be a lot more bad jokes the entire time I play this. Everyone okay? Man, of all the cliches, there are too many monsters these days. Too many. Agreed. It's happening. Make a landing. He doesn't say land the ship, he says make a landing. Create us on the ground. And the loops on the music are pretty short. Time to see Bagan. Mysidians were so helpless. He asks a question and doesn't wait for an answer. Man, I'm already eager to go grab all those chests. Again, I've played this game way too many times. The room where Palom and Porum get turned to stone. Quite a rebellious heir. Why is he saying well done, baby? I guess because he discovered that Cecil was feeling guilty. And the one expression of dipping the head. This game did not invent very many facial expressions. They're so surprised he's willing to ask anything. Eric, let's do it. We're going to play some Tecmo Bowl this weekend. What are you doing? What are you teaching or something? As they're pushing him out the room, they're giving him orders, just like, get out of here. Also do this. You too, Kane. Receive the package. Sorry about that. 24/7. 8 days a week. I always loved it when characters said things like this and you tried to imagine in the game world if, you know, you were hearing someone tell you to press the A button and you're like, what the hell are you smoking, Kane? I'm just gonna walk. Oh, man. Yeah, ask your mom if you can, you know, have a sleepover this Saturday. Cecil of the Red Wings. Wonder what other hockey references I can pull out of this game. Oh, stop it, you, Cecil. I mastered the dark sword. He mastered the dark sword to defend and not to rob. Maybe his first clue is that he was mastering the dark sword. Man, the lack of a run button is gonna kill me, and I don't want to use sped up emulation because then that's like a drug you can never go back from. You didn't invite me to your birthday party? God. This guy has nothing to say. Oh, he was asleep. Alright. Sorry, it's gonna be a little boring treasure hunting. You gotta go to every part of the castle and grab stuff. No one is allowed. These are the guys that fix the airship and add a hook to it later. Oh, really? I can't go there? Alright. I was wondering if I'd never played this RPG in the 90s, would it just be unbearable? Would I just give up immediately? I'm thinking so. I mean, it's a good game. It's pretty short. It's fun, but if you don't already love it, I don't see why you would want to play this one. Even though it's a good game. Can I see you later? Yeah. Ooh. Okay. Little door. I've played this game so many times, but I still can't quite remember every little secret. Oh, these are the mages that... This is probably when Nintendo let the game get published, because they don't actually die in the city, they're just captured. Ah, come back. Oh, I hate the 3D remake, don't even bring that up. What if you could only see 1% of this room at a time, and the worst polygonal models of all time filled up most of the screen? And then Helvetica is the font everywhere. Alright, Sid, get down here. See you later in the game so you can throw wrenches at guys. Doesn't want an airship to be used as a weapon. Sid has a daughter? I guess I never paid attention to that line. She doesn't show up in the game anywhere. Sleeping guy. Captain. Ouch. You gotta check the pots. These the 3 guys that attack you with Yang later. That mission has made me feel bad. I don't think the sentences get quite as bad as the first Metal Gear on the NES, but there's some pretty bad translations. I also like how Sid was up here and there's literally nothing up here. Why was Sid just sitting up here? Oh, I guess you're right. Fine. Sid has a daughter. Bet she doesn't pass the Bechdel test, though. Ah, your mother. Not actually your mother. Just changed the sheets. Alright, let's go kill Rydia's mom. Have to point out he's sleeping in his armor, which cannot possibly be comfortable. They couldn't spare like the kilobyte to give him like an underwear model or even just a t-shirt and shorts. The moody protagonist. You'll find the courage, Cecil. No true Cecil would ever whimper like this. Don't worry, Kane, the guy's gonna betray me 100 times, is coming with me. I do like this game because the main character basically has a full-on religious conversion, and since it's legit in this game world, it's awesome. He sees the light. Cecil gets saved. Let's go, Cecil. Yeah, I don't need to gather any equipment because this game literally throws the best weapons and armor at you constantly. There's only a couple times in the game where you really need to go buy stuff. Is it really a branching option to ditch Kane? When can you ditch him? I don't think you have any say over the party whatsoever this entire game. Oh yeah, this music. What do they call this theme? To me, it's just the Final Fantasy theme because they use it in so many of the games. I always called him Dragon Cane because I apparently couldn't read when I was 10 or whatever, 8 when I played this game. Oh, come on. Let's move it along, game. The overture, thank you. And the fact that they only do like the increasing monsters. But he's a Dark Knight. The crystal was shedding its light silently. Do things usually shine with noise? Like, I turn a light switch on, I'm not normally like, oh man, that light is so loud. I don't even think there's much to buy. Game's too easy anyway. Meh. Oh yeah, because the Pures were called heal in this game. A lot of the early Americanized Final Fantasies used heal for the antidote. Or no, in this game, heal cures pretty much every single status ailment. Oh yeah, I forgot that. Why am I even trying to go there? Oh man, in this game when you accidentally say hello to a dancing person, then you lose like an entire minute to a stupid sprite dance. Ouch. The Guide of World Birds. Yeah, Remedy is what they call the heals everything item now. There's this entire bookshelf is just buoyancy and its principles. And then this bookshelf is nothing. Alright. Get out of my way, lady. Is this lady racist against Mist? Or does she just know what I carry? This is a really valid question right here. Alright. I like how all the shops are locked. God forbid they have any customers. Alright, any pots in the inn? Can't remember. There's a sign here. Oh yeah. Here we go. Civil Dissent. He was probably put in prison later. Mr. Dark Knight. I just realized now that Cecil is Batman. Oh, and apparently he's a tax man. Really just the King's Gopher. King's Fixer. Alright, enough time wasted. Let's go kill Rydia's mom. Mode 7. 3 eagles. Do eagles even, like, fight in packs or anything like that? Float eye. If anyone wants to know why I'm not playing the Japanese version with a better translation and more difficulty, it's because I'm a wimp. I'd rather just fly through this game, get the crystal sword, beat a Zeormus, whatever his last name is, Zemus, and then Zeromus. That's what his final form. Or Zeramis? I don't even know. Super Nintendo can layer effects, man. Look at all that detail. Oh, the other change is I think in the Japanese version, all the hidden paths behind walls are actually hidden. And in this game, they're like highlighted in a navy blue, so they're just really obvious. Oh, this is such a magnificent theme for a cave. Yeah, I know I'm not jumping. These enemies are too weak. There's no point in jumping. I guess the butterflies, the moths. I don't even think there's any good treasure in this cave. Probably just heals and cures. But again, why not? I always like that you could step over the crack right there. I thought it was so funny when I was a kid to call them wimps instead of imps. Hey, it's a wimp. A lot of battles. Arguably, I shouldn't even bother because Cain doesn't really become important until the end of the game, and you don't really need to care about leveling Cecil until after he becomes a paladin. But these battles are short. Who cares? Plus, you lose gold if you run away. Good. Save state just in case something tragic happens. I mean, I'm playing this on a Super Nintendo with the original cartridge. Oh, this music's classic too. Ah, crap. Cain's in the air, and he already turned into mist, so I'm going to hit him. And then he's going to blow wind at me. Alright. Let's go ahead and... Ah, I should have waited. Whatever. How many Final Fantasies have had a boss that just, like, switches into this, like, don't hit me or I'll retaliate kind of mode, and it's always like presented as this great novelty of like, this boss sometimes goes into his shell. And usually it's one of the characters that's like, Cain is teaching Cecil like he is a rookie or something. Nice critical hit. Sorry, Rydia's mom. Yeah, we're fine. Such happy music. Oh, let's get a... Oh. And bombs. Little red demon bombs. Oh man, watching this was like kind of watching the DVD logo move around, like the screensaver on DVD players. Like you wanted them to cross right in the middle of the screen. They do a couple times. Burn the village down. How to get burned? My mom's dragon fell. Losing your summoned monster is like dying in the Matrix, I guess. Why did you tell her? Whoops, didn't mean to do that. See, Cain isn't even under the control of Golbez right now, and he already wants to slaughter this girl. What's the matter with him? Oh, I guess he changes his mind. No, we just murdered your mom, but come with us. Alright, story battle. It doesn't matter. Oh yeah, the word summon was too big for their text boxes and probably too complicated for kids, they thought, so call. Mode 7, bitches! That slight angle of the world, advanced. Oh yeah, the old pixelization for waking up. I don't know how that communicated so much on the Super Nintendo, but it feels like it means a lot when the whole screen like goes blurry twice. Allow me to collect that girl and walk out. Alright, she's not in my party till we go sleep at the inn. Then she goes up levels like 6 at a time at first. Sandworm straight out of Beetlejuice, I'm gonna guess. What is it, Saturn they see through the doors? Let's just walk in this desert. She must rest. Another common moment in Final Fantasies is when they take control and force you to go sleep at an inn. I don't know why this game made sleeping at inns really appealing. Yeah, we've got a bunch of beds. I don't care how many guests are here. You're all sleeping in the same room down there together. Well, you have to kill just the officer and the rest of the guys retreat, I think. Whatever, let's just kill them all. It's not gonna take very long. Oh yeah, you kill the other guys and then you hit the officer once and he runs away. Attack! After 2 of his guys are dead. Like they're just standing there getting slain. Bye-bye. Look how retreat is an ability he used. I cast retreat. Time for the Stockholm Syndrome to settle in. He killed my mom, but I mean, he killed those other guys, so I guess he's good. Seems like one of the spells in Final Fantasy is announcing your name to the main character means you join their party automatically. But that's the actual mechanism. Hello, I'm now part of your party. Let's go! Somehow that was always really inspiring too. Like you wake up and you all gather in front of the payment desk. Imagine leaving like a Holiday Inn and right after you like get your receipt, just going, "Let's go!" I'll have to try that next time and make everyone think I'm a crazy person. An old lady in the hallway. Great design, Squaresoft. Thank you. Thank you for this. I have 6 cures, 1 tent. Yeah, let's get 10 more. Another tent. Whatever. Who cares? Time for some boring town stuff. Forgive me. But if you're watching Final Fantasy Let's Play, you gotta be able to handle some town stuff. I mean, it's not like I'm playing Uncharted or something. Let's get her straight on the bow train. Let's see, I can afford 19 arrows. Yes, I'll have 19 iron arrows, thank you. The other annoying thing in this game is it's not obvious. Okay, I guess she's right-handed because it defaulted her. So do I put the bow in her right hand and the iron arrows, or do I flip that? Yeah, I flipped that. So you put the arrow in the dominant hand, which makes sense. If you're using a bow, you use your strong arm to pull the arrow back. But man, there's no way I'm going to remember what handed every character is, and so you end up having to try. At least with Final Fantasy 3/6, they added that optimum button. Oh yeah, I have no money. The doors to towns always look like faces. Alright, Radio, let's go up like 10 levels in a row. Also, Cecil, you can be in the front. Wait, let's do this. There. Wimps. Radio's gonna miss almost every time, but I don't care. Hey! I wonder how long it took to develop this game and how long it would take to develop it today. Like, the tools we have today for mapping out something like this. I mean, writing the story would take about the same amount of time because a word processor is a word processor, but, you know, designing the game system, we've, you know, so many people have already made so many games like this. Like, would that be like a 3-month thing, assuming the writing went quick, or 6 months? I don't even know. Like, even assuming they didn't get to use an existing game engine, but they like actually had to make a new game, still seems like it should be way faster. 1 level, 2 levels, only 2. At least they didn't kill her. Sure, you can use a cure. RPG Maker. Yeah, you could build the game in a week, assuming you had a good story idea. I'm sure that would actually be the longest part, to make something as decent as the story of this game. Cliche-ridden it now seems, though. Well, that stereo sound when he hits the moth on the left side. Powder. You mean like the pale albino white guy movie from the 90s? Hey. Oh yeah, the magic spell Sight, which doesn't cure blindness, but just zooms out the world map. And that seems so amazing that the system could zoom like that. Also, the nice icon for being blind is sunglasses. I guess some blind people choose to wear dark sunglasses to block their eyes. 14 people in a year? Not bad. So Sakaguchi and Nobu Uematsu, and then 12 Japanese people I will never know. The other thing you wonder in games is, does going to the inn heal status ailments? And I forget legitimately. Let's find out. Let's go! Yeah, he's not blind. Man, imagine if you went blind and you just had to like sleep in a business, like go to a Holiday Inn, and you're not blind anymore. You're cured. Alright, what level is she in? 4? Well, let's get up to 6 or 7 before we go join forces with the bard. Or no, we hang out with Tella first? I can't remember. Maybe it's Tella and then the bard. Tella, one of the greatest names of all time. The name Tell with some hesitation on your next word. Man, the bass line is so good in this song. Sandpede almost sounds like centipede. Sandipede. I sort of ripped off the chord progression to the song in a Genetic Engine song. It's a little secret. If you look up the song Alonerous, the chorus of that song has a similar progression, though nothing else about the song will make you think of Final Fantasy, but fun times. I think that bass line just brings me back to this game. Like, there's a whole orchestra and horn section, but there's just this bass player in the corner just going crazy. Lit one. Such limited characters, names. And interesting that they abandoned the numbers after, what, Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VI? So in 7 you have the Ara Aga thing starts. Or no, it's still numbers in 7. It's 8 that started the Kuraga kind of thing. Level 5, let's go one more. Grinding. If you're watching the archive, you know to skip this, unless what I'm saying is so interesting. The Sandman is severely less scary in this game than in the Nightmares of Children. Or the Metallica song, I suppose. Since I see your comments like 15 seconds later, what started way earlier in Japan? I've already forgotten what I said. Oh, the Aga stuff. Now you're gonna hear me realize what you meant 15 seconds after you probably tell me what you were talking about. But maybe you'll laugh. Alright, level 6. Good enough for me. Nice, Benji. Everything's earlier in Japan. Japan is still the land of the future, right? They're way ahead of us on sex robots. What else? Is it just sex robots? Maybe I should go back to Hitbox or whatever that site was that had more like a 5-second delay. I love their little pose like when they're ready to attack, like arms up. Ah, Sex Bomb. Great band or greatest band in a movie? Ugh, why did I step away from that treasure chest? Alright, we're gonna start using magic. Oh, I didn't go to the end to refill our magic. Whatever. This game's easy. Miss. Pretty much. I said pretty much right after I saw your comment, so now you know how long the delay is. There's a lot of harp in this game. A lot of arpeggiated harp, which I guess harps are best at arpeggiation. Music lessons with Final Fantasy, courtesy of Pseudomichael. Arpeggio is moving up or down a scale or the notes of a chord in order or in sequence. Not necessarily straight in order, but creating a pattern of single notes rather than playing multiple notes simultaneously in harmony or as a full chord. A lot of arpeggio in electronic music because you can really tell a computer to bounce around all the notes you're holding down. Harpeggio. Very funny. Ha ha ha. Pike. Lit. Let's get lit. Man, really satisfying spell noises in this game. Like, I mean, I might have to give, like, hitting a boss in Zelda the most satisfying noise of all time. Though Mega Man has some really satisfying damage noises. But the magic in this game is right up there with everything. Alright, Tella. What do you got to say? What are you? He doesn't say who are you, he says what are you? Who translated this game? And fledglings? I've never heard someone call someone else a fledgling in my life. And for a game that chooses really simple words to translate all the time, the fact that they're like, just kidding, let's throw a fledgling in there. These 8-year-olds are gonna know what fledgling means. Wait, did I miss something? I'm not supposed to go to this cave yet. I'm supposed to... Maybe I haven't played this game a million times. No, I actually have, but apparently I forgot what I'm supposed to do before I talk to Tella. Why did that water bug use remedy? It's not like I cast poison. Water bug, water bug. Ah, lame. Cecil gained a level. Cecil gained a level. Alright, let's go back to Capo. I think I'm supposed to go to that top right house or something. Something dumb. Alright, this is our last magic, then I'm probably going to run away from battles till I refill. Anyone tweet at me? Norp. Sorry. Keep fighting. That sense of calm when you're back in town. Man, all your base, it was that Zero Wing, was that game called? That had all the worst translation of all time. How are you, gentlemen? Someone set us up the bomb. All your base are belong to us. Man, that's one of those, like, internet famous things that people our age remember, but you'd ask the people on Reddit now and they'd be like, get out of here, Grandpa. Ugh. Traffic. Only Final Fantasy games make you deal with the traffic of aimless wandering people. Oh yeah, we find Rosa sick. That's what I forgot. And then we need the antlion, blah 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 blah. Cecil. Don't leave me, Cecil. Oh, I'm supposed to talk to Red Mage. The game doesn't actually have red mages, but this guy looks like one. Sand Ruby. No spaces, one word, Sandraby. Sandraby. What's this book called? Oh, the bookshelf also has the answer to what you're supposed to do. The game is literally shouting. Ouch. Sandra Bullock. Only Sandra Bullock can save Rosa. Don't mind me just checking my Apple Watch. Please don't let that, I don't mean that to be pretentious. I'm making fun of myself. The only Let's Play with an Apple Watch. Enhancing the entire experience. Oh yeah, I go right in this cave. Ah, battle. I don't want to play this battle. Alright, Tella. Now that he magically knows that we know there's a problem, he will help us. Zombies. Nope. Rydia doesn't know fire yet. No point in fighting them. Jeez, random battles. Alright, lit. Strike first. Yeah, good enough. 3 or 4. 69. Just 69 that... Okay, I'm sorry. I'll show myself out. Suddenly, Tella will talk to us because he sees the dark sword. A wicked bard tricked my daughter. Damsian. Dam Blue. The Blue Dam. Is that really what that stands for? Damsian? Oh, don't even bring up shitty mobile games. I mean, mobile games. This Let's Play censored by Apple Watch. Sage Tella. Because Wizard was too... So I heard a lot of the translations of this game was for fear of like overly Christian Americans like freaking out about demons or anything like that, and so I think there were more religious overtones in the game, and they kind of washed that all out. Well, I'm not emulating, I'm just using save states on my Super Nintendo. Look. And come on, it's only one emulator at a time. I'm walking through this water for nothing. Shit. Strike first. Alright. Like how they can just stand on water and the fish also just on top of the water. Use your imagination, Michael. It's not just a shell creature that like naturally wants to fight for its survival, it's an evil shell. 1L. Oh, yeah. Ah. I'm gonna have to start running. These don't slow down. Whoops, I told Tella to strike with his staff. Which is a waste of time. Gah. Cast your magic, old man. Sorry, Tom, I'm a dumbass. Also, the stream is like 15 seconds delayed, and so I have no idea the context sometimes when you guys say things. By the way, I've been really loving your, like, I don't want to, what's the phrase? I'm really dumb right now. Pigeonhole your art, but I really enjoy the, like, retro kind of stuff I see you post on Instagram. The, like, pixel, not exactly pixel art, but, like, it's good shit. That's all I want to say. And I'd also ask, like, is that all just stuff you're making on your own? Are you commissioned with any of it? Are you, like, making any of that stuff for, I don't know, bigger projects or anything? I don't even know what you do. Do you do design stuff for your life? Pixel portraits are fun. And I'd argue they're not that hard. I mean, I find the pixel portraits are easier if I limit myself to like 32 by 32. Because there's only so much detail you have to play with. Blah, 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 the cliche of limitations or whatever. Insta-Tom. This is Benji. Were you saying that like the movie 300? Right before you kick someone into a bottomless pit or something? Blah, 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 monsters, blah, 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 mystical save point. Let's go. Well, I just did a... It's true, and there's definitely a couple of the pixel portraits where I decided to go to 48 by 48 because someone's hair or something about their face was just like required a little more. Like I found in 32 by 32, a lot of the early ones had glasses, which means I don't have to do eyebrows. But when you go 48 by 48, you have a little more ground to play with. Oh yeah, if you make anything resembling retro 80s, 90s stuff, game stuff, whatever, Benji will love you. Not to make you sound easy, Benji, I know you've got standards. Cave Toad. Look how it's rarely that you just find one. It's always like a pack of cave toads simultaneously attacking you. That's a very, very important question, Survey 94. And I think, unless you're someone I know, you just won the award for first person on my dead live stream that is someone I don't know. But I really hope the other people here answer your very important question. And did you get that from Shower Thoughts from Reddit? Ah. I mean, I don't think there's very many cannibals. You've seen me live stream before. Still doesn't help because I've only done like maybe 10 in my life. But do I know you IRL, as the kids say? No one fights Jelly. Like saying you've seen me live stream before is almost like, what do you think about the magical yellow unicorn who dances on the rainbow with a spoonful of blue cheese, Jesse? Oh, I'm going backwards. What's wrong with me? I'm being distracted by 1994 survey spelled wrong. I gotta focus on my game. These questions are too perplexing, too confounding. Now you're just showing off with your non sequiturs. You're like a wizard that only has a spell called non sequitur. Which is, I mean, I'm not sneezing at your non sequitur powers. I greatly envy them. Entire spelled with a Y. Is that British? No one cares about you, water bug. Just run away. Or die. Rydia gained a level. What am I even doing? Cecil's wielding the dark sword. I mean, this is depressing, guys. Nope. No one fights Jelly. So here's the first example of how the American version of this game made the secret wall paths really obvious. Top games I played as a kid. Man, this is one of them. All the Super Nintendo Final Fantasies, Chrono Trigger, Super Metroid, Zelda Link to the Past, Contra on the NES. It's a lot of Nintendo, Capcom, and Konami. The usuals. I don't think there's anything surprising, I would say. What's surprising is when you torrent a whole bunch of classic games and play all the old ones you thought you liked as a kid, how few of them are not a steaming pile of shit. Most of the crap does not hold up, but seems like Super Nintendo had a sweet spot of some games that are just pretty timeless now. Super Mario World is amazing. Super Metroid, It's really hard to beat Super Metroid. No, it's a really easy game, but it's hard to make a better game than that. Especially because it only takes like 3 hours, so you could play it like multiple times a year just to enjoy it. I don't know, what am I missing? There's so many good old games. Even though I just got done saying most of them aren't good. Oh, Tiny Mage. Not fighting Tiny Mage. Jelly. Oh, Final Fantasy Tactics on the on PS1 is one of my favorite games of all time. That game is so good. Though, I mean, it's another game that's kind of broken. Okay, so you're playing on your phone, which is a totally valid way to play it. I'm not going to knock it, but something about Squaresoft, when they port their games to iPhone or Android, they change the font. Like, look at the font here. It's like this, like, you know, classic pixelated, you know, Nintendo font. For some reason on mobile, it's like the cleanest, most HD Helvetica of all time, and that just pisses me off. Like, I can't stand it. And it's not like I'm not a font snob or anything. It just looks so out of place that you're playing like this retro game, but then the font is like this clean, modern, Swedish, like minimalist, lacking all personality kind of font. Zombies only? But don't let that dissuade you. Is this the only time you've played through Final Fantasy Tactics? Did you play it like for PlayStation? Oh, emulator. Never mind. Forget everything I said. More power to you. Now, are you emulating the PS1 version or the PSP version, which is widescreen? I know way too much about these games. I just now got your Final Fantasy pun. I'm sorry. Well, then you already know that's a great game. Did you ever play the Game Boy Advance sequel? I was really disappointed by that. I was so excited, like, this thing I love, finally there was another one. And then it was like, had this judge system, and like, it was kids, they were having a snowball fight, and it was just like, what? Oh yeah, touchscreen controls suck. I was just me and Benji were talking about that because he was talking about how in the Mega Man port to iOS, or Mega Man X, you can buy all the armor if you don't feel like earning it. But also touch controls can go fuck themselves. This is an R-rated stream, just by the way. The Apple Watch I'm wearing will censor shits, but not fucks. Except that one. Boss time. Walking on water like Jesus. Just kidding. Ah. So are you playing it on an Android tablet, or do you have like a jailbreak iPad going on or something? Or your phone? Oh yeah, it's still PG-13 unless I say fuck again. Damn it. Shit. I mean, shit. Well, I know some people really liked Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, but you have my permission to completely skip it because I did not, after loving the PlayStation games so much, I could not get anything out of that game. Lions, I don't know if you ever played Tactics Advance or have an opinion. Did you have a Game Boy Advance? Oh, Benji, you asked about Final Fantasy IV Advance. Since Final Fantasy IV Advance is not the like new polygon version, but it's like straight up pixels like this, sprites, it's solid. I mean, they had to shrink the view a little bit, but it's a good representation of this game. Also, I thought I was about to fight the boss, but I was wrong because I don't actually remember this game that well. Now, one of the greatest sadnesses I have about Tactics is that there's only one good one. I don't want to fight this battle. That there's never been a good sequel. I know some people like the front mission games were on PS1 and PS2, but there's so much terrible dialogue. Pathfinder. Pathfinder sounds awesome just from that tiny description of yours. You should come to Denver and play it with me. Oh, I just realized Rydia has no arrows left, probably from like an hour ago. So other tactics type games, I mean, there's Shadowrun, or Shadowrun Returns or whatever, is kind of a new mobile game that is a lot like Tactics. Fire Emblem is decent. Trying to think. I'm sure Lions or someone else has some ideas. Tactics Ogre is kind of another series that people like a lot. Okay, you just mentioned Tactics Ogre, but my comment's going to come 10 seconds after you wrote that, so you're going to think I'm crazy. What's Chocobo? Chocobo, my bad. That's another thing I said wrong growing up. I always said Chocobo instead of Chocobo or Chocobo. Benji, I'm iffy on Final Fantasy Explorers because someone said it was bad. Maybe it was Justin. It's $40. I kind of like go, eh. Octomam. I assume that stands for Octomemories. Because I'm a teenager. You should definitely come to Denver, all of you. I know, Benji, you are coming next month, and Lions, you already live here, but nonetheless, you should all come to Denver. It's like 70 degrees this week. Yeah, I'm kind of inclined to skip Explorers. See, you just said lol, but I'm like 20 seconds away from the context, so I have no idea what you're saying you're laughing at. Why isn't everything instantaneous? Boom. That dark sword takes off more than a giant yellow bird ramming. Octo memories. Like how every monster just has like a giant purse of gold on them too. It totally makes sense that we can go through a waterfall and come out of a cave entrance. Oh man, I haven't streamed any of those games. I don't actually have any of those games. I've really only streamed this and Mega Man Legends, and me and Lions did the whole Flipping Tables live stream, a couple weeks ago. Which we're gonna do another like big group live stream when Benji visits, like March 6th. Yeah, you punch him, Radia. Are those games good? I mean, I've vaguely seen about them. They're kind of like open-ended, totally sandbox games don't usually hold my attention for too long. Even Bethesda games, I kind of play like a few hours and then never go back. Time for some airships. Mode 7 graphics. The Red Wings, if you weren't here earlier in this stream. The Detroit Red Wings. Get it. Bum, 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 bum. They didn't even land. How did they take the crystal? Didn't make any sense. I haven't played Fallout 4 in a month. So give me like the elevator pitch on what makes the Battle Royale fun in that game. I'm not a skeptic, I'm just interested. I know, Lions, you played the Don't Starve, which isn't 3D first person, but is kind of an open-ended survival game. You spoony bard, so get ready for the most famous line from this whole game. Tella calls him a spoony bard. Any second now. You spoony bard. Out of whiskey. Shut up. Shut your mouth. He's doing the Austin Powers routine where he zips Scott. Has it been, it's almost 20 years since Austin Powers. Is it now funny to quote it again? Probably not. But, like at what point does it become like this vintage, oh my God, you're quoting Austin Powers? People aren't even alive anymore that remember that movie. That actually sounds pretty cool, like one round, everyone gets one life. That's one thing I like about Counter-Strike is it's not like an instant respawn craziness. You actually care about your life. I'm not paying attention to any of the story because it doesn't matter. Except this harp music, which comes into play later. The little girl called you a crybaby. All right, hurry up and convince. Oh, just hit him. Okay. Could he joined as a bard? Could he have joined as like something else? Prince Edward joins as a prostitute. She blinked out. None of the other dead guys blinked out, just Anna. Oh yeah, hovercraft. Hovercraft that goes over little rocks, but can't go over water normally. Really ominous Jeep. All right. I think we need to move Edward down so he's in the back row. Save our game. Again, look at this Japanese game, right to left. Characters on the right side facing left. Battle scenes, same way. I'm such an otaku. Just kidding, I don't even know what that means, and I probably used the wrong word. Cream, nope. Minutes. So it's like Castaway or The Road. And then suddenly a battle. Really? One step in another battle? Whatever dice roll they throw for how many steps to a battle, they really need to make sure it's always more than 3. The imps have a captain. It's really Reepicheep from Narnia. Yeah, watch Michael Edwards' live stream of Final Fantasy for Narnia references. Turtles and imps, always traveling in packs. I know every time I walk outside, I'm just like tripping over the turtle plus imp combo. Turtles that really like get sleepy when you play music. Probably playing like the new album by The National and just falls asleep. if you're gonna leave a treasure chest in a cave, are you gonna put like the most common, cheapest item on Earth in it? Like imagine you go into a cave and you find this like glorious treasure chest and there's like bazooka gum is the only thing in there. And you're like, oh, I guess there's kind of a comic, so, you know, maybe it'll be a funny comic, but probably not, because none of the bazooka comics were ever funny. And so back to Final Fantasy Tactics, once you get Orlando, that game is broken. He just breaks the game, he's so powerful. Basilisk. Again, very simple words in the translation for this game, like weeper and turtle. And then they expect these 8-year-olds to read basilisk. I know what that is. Trying to teach us vocabulary, I guess. The Bo Jackson. Man, we ever gonna get another Bo Jackson? Guys who play more than one sport? Is that just a phenomenon that's impossible now? I suppose not football anymore because everyone just gets concussion to hell. Tell the truth. Did you guys watch Pro Stars in the 90s? Wayne Gretzky, Bo Jackson, Michael Jordan. They didn't need a baseball player because Bo Jackson counted as both. Bo knows. Oh yeah, in this item box. Michael Jordan did try to play some baseball. I think I watched ESPN's like 30 for 30 series about Michael Jackson and his baseball career. Supposedly, like, he actually could have been really good. They just didn't give him a chance. Like, they kind of gave up on him too quickly. Or he gave up too quickly or something. Like, he couldn't handle not being already amazingly perfect at it. I don't know. Doesn't really matter because you're not going to go look it up and prove me wrong. So, you know, whatever. Oh, Michael Jackson. Michael Jordan. Well, you're not going to go look it up. Maybe Michael Jackson did have a baseball career. You put the weeper to sleep. That's probably a blessing. Very, very insomniac, depressed person probably wants to sleep. I mean, I can attest. Oh, there's just stairs up to nothing? Dumb. Ah, the old two paths. I recently watched the Angry Video Game Nerd review of the Moonwalker game. It looks so annoying, that game. I mean, I know that's his shtick, is to like play awful games, but you have to check literally every part of the environment for kids, because you're rescuing kids, of course. Edward's gonna die from a weeper. I better cure him. Rydia. And Cecil, the Dark Knight. I bet that's not the only way I'm like your pastor. Was he a youth pastor? That's even better. And I always pull that horrible joke out when someone says they hate snakes. I'm like, are there any other ways you're like Indiana Jones? That is a big-ass turtle. It's a good one. Feel free to steal that joke. Lego man hair. What does that mean? Did it look like really greasy and like set in place? Okay. Firm round dome. You're gonna hear me realize that, you know, a long time after you typed it. Couldn't just wait 1 second for you to explain. Are you kidding, Benji? Literally the same thing? Literally. Let's go fight an antlion. Alright. We're strong enough. Boss battle! Is there ever a situation where you would be happy to have someone tell you you had Lego hair? Like, could you swing that positive somehow? Oh, yes, antlion. Okay, Edward, you're not allowed to attack anymore. Another translation oddity, in this game you parry instead of defend, which I think they used later. So they went from the word an 8-year-old is unlikely to understand to the one they probably do. Alright, Edward, I'm gonna cure you. Die. Yes. This antlion was carrying 800 gold. Apparently all the monsters in the world are the 1%. I think Final Fantasy II/4 is a political allegory. I need to go post on GameFAQs about this. It'll be my first post. And then, oh, you just finished that dungeon. You get to walk out. because fuck you. Jeez, I don't even know. Lightning? Well, anyway, I'll say it again. You should come to Denver. Isn't Gary down in Arizona? You can make it a whole like road trip visitation. You probably know some other people moved out somewhere. I'll play keyboards for a Canada's Electric Tiger Machine reunion. Why am I even fighting these battles? Watch Pseudomichael live stream games to mention friends of people he knows who are watching. Well, you're welcome to come here anytime you like. I don't know what's wrong with me. Why did I use that voice? And a left to right battle just looks so wrong. You have to rephrase, Benji. I'm not understanding what you mean. Remember when all three of were almost a band? I remember because when I visited Hawaii when I was like 15 or something, I brought Benji back a Mega Man book that was manga, and it was such a novelty to me. It's like, this book is backwards. I'm not fighting any more battles. Oh man, Jeff Goldblum is watching you poop. Such a classic. These young whippersnappers don't even know the dank memes. You better still have that book. Shit is vintage. I don't even think I brought anyone else back something, so you gotta feel super special there. Are you still in Ohio, Tom? I know, Benji, you're in Columbus. Ah, St. Louis. Or Iowa. Not St. Louis now. You get to watch me discover things in real time. Seasons. Super electric guys in Cleveland? I don't think so. Doesn't ring a bell. One thing I miss about Ohio is the kind of house show or industrial space converted to art space. Like Denver's kind of, I mean, there's house shows and there's like sort of some warehouses that have been turned into venues, but it doesn't feel like Ohio where that's like really deeply embedded, like all the Rust Belt, all the manufacturing that's dead and gone, and there's these drunk 20-somethings putting on shows in their spaces. It's kind of like a big divide in Denver of like you're struggling and you can't get anything, or you're playing the Fillmore, the Denver version of the Fillmore, Red Rocks. Obviously I know Ben. I don't recognize the other guys. Were they similar kind of literary Devo electronic kind of crazy songs? Yeah, the whole like I don't usually feel that old. I'm still young at my workplace, but I signed up with a gym this year, which I'm actually keeping up with, unlike a lot of January people having good intentions. But I like playing basketball, and I went to the rec center around here, and it was just clearly 15 to 20-year-olds, and I just felt like such a creeper, like going to the court and being like, should I join a game? I don't want to be that old guy. Like, I need to find I don't know, probably a bunch of churchy men that are 30-something that play on, Saturday morning at some gym and be like, no, I don't want to go to your church, but I do want to play basketball with people who aren't 15. And you're probably not going to be jackasses. And I've been working at a university for a while, but I still didn't have that feeling of like being so clearly older to them till I visited BG like a year ago, and I walked around campus just for a stupid reminiscing thing, and there's just a bunch of damn kids, and I was like, oh shit, I'm old. Which is a cliche to like freak out about being old, but damn. Are you kidding? Tinder, but for 30-something basketball? I would install it. Sounds like a bored Elon Musk kind of thing, if you're familiar with that Twitter account. Oh, Benji, you're thinking about, what's his name? He was younger than us. Tom Wade is who you're thinking of, Benji. He was kind of a IDM looping electronica guy. Yes, Tom Wade. I just saw you type that after in my timeline. Yeah, me and Benji kind of wanted to be the No Twist for a while, and so we were trying to record some like very sample-based electronica pop songs like the No Twist. And we brought Tom Wade in basically one day. We hung out with him, and he's like, I have all these loops. You could use these loops. And they were kind of like these shitty little snare samples and just really lo-fi sounds. And it was kind of like, which, if he ever somehow watches this live stream and hears us talking about him, you're a cool dude and you make great music, and I don't mean to, I don't know, make this awkward. It wasn't a good fit. Let's just say that. Also, we just never followed up or worked hard on it. I wouldn't say you guys ripped off Style X. Benji, are you thinking of the, what's his name? The one guy from Style X that made like the almost a chiptune album. He had an album, Simplicity Room. Oh, I'm Googling live. Oh, if you Google Style X, you get a chair company. That's funny. You guys should try that right now. He also did like a chiptune version of Pet Sounds. Do you guys remember that? Oh yeah, Jeff Luce. Man, I'm friends with Jeff Luce on Facebook, though I don't think I've ever had an actual conversation with Jeff Luce in my entire life. Go Lab, there it is. Good work. I'm not fighting this battle. Fuck this battle. Spirits and skeletons? I'm out. Yeah, Jeff always seemed like a nice guy. I enjoyed his drumming too. So who else? There was Dustin, right? And then what's his name that worked Howard's? God, what was his name? It's like 10 years ago, feels like. Easily, if not more. Brian Kontorsky. You're probably going to type that and then 10 seconds later hear me say it. I like that you did exactly what I said. That's cool. Brooklyn's probably a place you can find some cool bars to work at. Yang? You talking about the game, Benji? Or some kind of like Einstein time relativity thing happening. Again, the bass lines are so good in this game. A lot of octave on the battle music. Oh shit. Mom bomb. Not even a bomb, it's just like a frozen explosion. Like I started to explode and I kind of stopped. And now I look like this. Ah, modern Soviet enemies. As far as I know, Blaine is still in Cleveland. Yeah. I saw Zach just had a bunch of baby photos recently. Yeah, Blaine's doing graphic design for the Cavs forever now, I think. Ben's in Virginia. He's got a kid now too. Oh jeez. I'm gonna die. Sex Mom Bomb. Nice. Nice one, Benji. I understood that reference. No! I don't have any life. Oh, I do have a life. That's funny. Ben Lucas. Do you remember Ben? Lead singer, guitar. Ah, that's some press gang. Oh, jeez. Toad's gonna die. No. Yeah, Ben's got a band in Virginia. I forget what they're called. Phantom Weight. I think it's one word, Phantom Weight. Yeah, It's hard to match Ben's stage presence. He was just kind of all over the place. Karate Man Yang. Who's the narrator of this game? Ugh. Cock Trick? What kind of monster is Cock Trick? Never mind, don't tell me. Probably gonna get out of this area and save it and quit. I love that I'm gonna leave this on my YouTube account, so anyone who watches this won't see your comments, but will hear me talking to some invisible person or people and wonder what the hell is going on. Of course, that's assuming anyone is ever going to watch this. That's not going to happen. But maybe in 10 years I'll kind of laugh and watch this myself. That's good enough for me. Suppose what I could do is on my live stream put the chat in where my pixel art icon is and have it just sit there so anyone who watches this someday would actually know what the hell I'm talking about. Meh, whatever. Alright, Edward, I get to bring you back to life. But I only have one cure. These girls know magic. One more battle. Alright. I'm signing off. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Until next time on Pseudomichael Plays Final Fantasy II, which is really Final Fantasy IV.